For those thousands of people who haven't filed their income taxes yet, this is a very good moment to remind people about the checkoff boxes on our state income tax. We've had this tradition in Illinois for 20 years and more. There are a lot of good causes on the checkoff box page, and we want to encourage people to at least take a look at it. It's totally voluntary. It's something that you can give as little as $1 or whatever you want from your tax refund if you have one, or if you wish to make a contribution to these causes, you can add to your tax liability. If you look at the form right near, in the middle, and about line F, I guess that's the sixth line down, or fifth line down, it's the Military Family Relief Trust Fund. And I wanted to talk about that today because this is the 10-year anniversary of something that we passed into law 10 years ago, was signed in 2003. 10 years later, the Military Family Trust Fund is still with us and still needed. And I really encourage folks to check off of the box and give what they can. I think it's important that all of us understand that we have men and women from Illinois that are still being deployed to Afghanistan. Many of our service members from the National Guard and from the reserves have served not only in Iraq, but also in Afghanistan. And Afghanistan will not totally wind down until the end of next year. So as Illinois continues to have members of our Guard and our reserves deployed in a very, very dangerous place. We know what happened last Sunday to a young lady from our state who went to my high school who was going to be buried on Wednesday. This is a very dangerous country and a very dangerous deployment. And so for many of our Guard members and our reservists, when they volunteer and then they're called to active duty, they take a decline in their salary. These are citizen soldiers in the best traditions of American democracy. And their civilian job sometimes does not make up the difference between their military pay and what they were receiving in civilian life. There's actually a decline in salary. And so what we want to do, and this is the idea behind the Military Family Relief Trust Fund, is to have a fund set up by the people of Illinois, not charity. This is a token of our esteem and gratitude to those who answer that call to duty, who volunteer to go in the face of danger, to protect our democracy. And we all know what happened on September 11th of 2001, a horrific day that will never be forgotten. And we were very, very fortunate in our democracy and in our state to have men and women come forward in those very dark hours and answer the call to duty and go forward to protect us and protect our government of the people. And many went to Afghanistan, many went to Iraq later on, and many are still in Afghanistan. And so the purpose of the fund, which has helped now 27,700 military families in the course of its 10-year existence, that's thousands and thousands of Illinois military families. They've received from the fund over $15 million. And things happen when you're deployed. We don't want our soldiers on the front line worried about financial matters back home, whether there's a hole in the roof of the house. And that has happened to some of our service members. They had home repairs that were very serious that needed to be addressed. The same way with gas bills, oftentimes can be very high, whether it's utility bills or bills to fill up your tank. We know what the prices are. Again, the stipend that comes from the Military Family Relief Trust Fund helps our military families to get through a very tough financial time. And that's the whole concept. The fund also has a award for those who are wounded in battle. And we were able to make it even more generous. We think that's important as well, that we, the people of Illinois, help our service members in their recovery from any kind of injuries or wounds in war. Now, anyone can participate in this, and I've been involved in this from day one. And it's been so inspiring to see young children in grammar school conduct bake sales, have events at their school, pennies, nickels, dollars, contributing them to the Military Family Relief Trust Fund. That's why we have the checkoff box, that people can donate whatever they choose to this wonderful fund. Almost every single year, the Military Family Relief Trust Fund receives the most contributions from the people of Illinois. And I hope that happens again, because we continue to have financial needs for this fund, because we have so many of our military members of our Guard and Reserves that are deployed. Everyone who is deployed automatically gets a $500 grant every 6 months of their deployment. And having been to Iraq twice and also Afghanistan once, I can tell you it is so important when you're on the battlefront, you not have to worry about the home front. And we want our service members to understand that the people of Illinois are so proud of them for their great service and volunteerism. We cannot forget them financially. So
it's been a pleasure to be able to speak to some of the National Guard members who have benefited from this fund this morning. And I think it's also wonderful to have some of the leaders in the veteran community up with us here today, because I think that's really a very broad recognition that we are one community in uniform and out, and that those of us who have served in uniform and have taken that uniform off still stand ready to assist day in and day out those who still wear the uniform and serve overseas. I think that's also a recognition and a mindset really that is shared throughout our Illinois National Guard, that we are one culture, we have common sacrifices and really common challenges between the National Guard, Reserve, active duty and veteran side. And we really appreciate the leadership of General Crumroy and General Hayes, and really all throughout the National Guard ranks, in making sure that there is a partnership between our two agencies that cares for our service members, our veterans and their families really throughout the spectrum of service. As Governor Quinn mentioned, we are speaking today about one particular aspect that serves at a critical time in that spectrum, and that's when a service member deploys and the family is left behind. And the Military Family Relief Fund, as you've heard this morning, plays a really very critical role in that time for a lot of families. As an Iraq veteran myself and as a former member of the reserves here in Illinois, I really find this program and the support that it has received from Illinois citizens really very inspirational. Any of us who have served in the 9/11 generation, as our president has termed it, have made and frankly have watched our peers make for now over 11 years extraordinary sacrifices. And now in my current capacity as the director of the Department of Veterans Affairs, I've had the privilege of meeting thousands upon thousands more of these heroes, soldiers and sailors and airmen and Marines who stand up and answer that call to duty and do make those sacrifices day in and day out. And I think what's been really encouraging to see is that it's not just us, our peers, who watch these sacrifices being made, it's that Americans have watched. And they have drawn together in being hugely supportive of and grateful for and wanting to express thanks to our service members and our veterans. And here in Illinois, the Military Family Relief Fund is one of the wonderful ways that we have to do that. For 10 years now, the people of Illinois have contributed really very generously to this fund, and it's an honor to be part of the call today to ask them to continue to do so and to make this impact. At DVA, we work day in and day out with veterans, a number of whom struggle in the transition. They come back and face joblessness and trying financial circumstances. And seeing for some of those veterans how even retroactively the contribution, the stipend of the Military Family Relief Fund, seeing the difference that has made for in that month to be able to pay the bill that month. I've even seen it in my own extended family. It really highlights for me how important this program is, and again makes me proud to be able to stand along with the entire military and veteran community and our state's biggest supporter of veterans and military, and Governor Quinn, and encourage Illinois citizens to continue to contribute in this wonderful way. All of us in uniform and out are very grateful for the continued support of our citizens. Thanks.